Hello, you wonderful one. Welcome back to the seat of the Maloka. Last week we spoke about learning to land, about what it costs to stop floating and let the ground hold you, about the ego death that comes with finally committing to something real. And I ended that episode with I am letting the ground hold me and I'm waiting to see what wants to take shape. Today, I want to talk about that waiting. Because most of the people do not talk about the waiting. We talk about the release, we talk about the arrival, but the space in between, that uncomfortable, sacred space, where the old has left and the new hasn't arrived yet. That is what this episode is all about. The in between is not the pause before the transformation, it is the transformation itself. Pull up a chair. Let's begin. I'm in a strange place right now. It's not bad or good, it's something in between, which is harder to describe and harder to sit with than either of those. I've been releasing old patterns, old memories, old ways of understanding myself and my place in things. And what I'm finding is that releasing is only a part of it. The other part is the waiting, the space between what has been released, what has been let go, and what has yet not arrived to take its place. I didn't expect this part to be so uncomfortable. We talk about transformation as if it moves cleanly from one thing to the next. As if you let go of the old, the new will step in to fill up the space. But that is not how it works, at least not in my experience. What actually happens is that when the old leaves, for some time, there is just an empty space, which is a little frightening, and the urge to fill it is very strong. So, off lately, I have been thinking about the caterpillar, not as a metaphor in the way it is usually spoken about, but as a biological fact. What actually happens inside a cocoon is not what most of us imagine. The caterpillar does not slowly, gently grow wings. It dissolves completely into liquid. Everything it has breaks into something formless, something that does not yet know what it is becoming. And from that liquid, that complete unforming, the butterfly takes shape. The in between is not the pause before the transformation. It is the transformation itself, I realized. The dissolution is the work. And here is what it means practically. If you break the cocoon open early, before the dissolving is complete, the butterfly cannot fly. Certain things need darkness, some things need the pressure, some things need time. The most dangerous thing you can do in transformation is rush it. We are so uncomfortable with not knowing that we reach for the next thing before the current thing has finished with us. We pick up a new identity before the old one has fully released. We make decisions from the surface because we cannot bear the emptiness long enough to hear what is underneath. But the cocoon requires dissolving. And the dissolving requires you to stay. And then there is something even simpler than the caterpillar. Something we do thousands of times a day without noticing. Our breath. Think about what happens between the inhalation and the exhalation. There is a pause, a moment of complete stillness between the two movements. Not inhaling, not exhaling. That pause is where life takes birth. Something renews in that stillness that neither the inhalation or the exhalation can provide on their own. We rush past that pause 1,000 times a day. We are not even aware of it. The in between is like that. It is not the gap between who you were and who you are becoming. It is part of becoming itself. The other thing is, there is no map for this place. Every other part of my journey had some kind of a signpost, a teaching to do, a framework to practice, something to do. The liminal has none of that. It asks only that you stay put, that you do not leave before it finishes the process. I will not pretend that this is easy. Some days the emptiness feels like many possibilities, and some days it feels like a loss. And the other days it is hard to tell the difference. What I'm learning is that the urge to rush through this pace gets stronger, to find the new identity quickly, to know what comes next, and to have something solid to stand on again. But I'm learning to notice it and not follow it, to stay a little longer in the not knowing and let the liquid be liquid. Because whoever I'm becoming is not yet ready to reveal itself. And I'm learning to trust the process. So, the question I want to leave you with this week, are you in the in between right now? Not stuck or failing, not lost, just in the in between, which is a completely different thing. And if you are, I want you to know that dissolving is the work. The waiting is not wasted time. Emptiness is not absence. It is where something new will emerge. And you do not have to rush through this to prove yourself you're okay. The pause between the inhalation and the exhalation is where the decision to take rebirth lies. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will see you in the next one. I'm keeping you in my heart. So much love to you.